we are, we're one, you know.
Wow, I heard a concept that we are all one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Interesting,
yeah.
huh?
Oh, we could start a new one. Let's say we're two.
Let's just
We're,
say we're two. You
we're
know
all
what?
two.
This oneness thing, it's just not working for me anymore. I've been trying at it for years. Let's go for two. Two-ness.
Actually,
Let's
I,
go for
I, I
two-ness.
think we should compromise. Let's go for 1.5,
Hmm.
1.5. We're all 1.5.
Can we, so we're 1.5-ness? Is that what that is? Is that
Yeah,
where we are?
yeah,
1.5-ness. Hang on. I kind of like the ring of that.
yeah.
Okay, we are 1.5-ness.
Finally, we got it. It's a
And
new
then there's gonna
religion.
be, and then music is gonna come in, and then we'll go, hi Dave.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Oh, there's just something about Australia I wanted to point out to you. But I don't know if you ever noticed it. Like you see there's a shadow. See that?
Oh, that looks like the tail of a dinosaur, honestly.
Well, that dinosaur that is the tail of a dinosaur, but that's actually a bush in Australia, and
Oh,
that's a shadow. But
yeah. I've been taking my drugs again. Sorry.
yeah, keep taking them. But I don't know if you notice the sun is actually different in Australia to the rest of the world. Did you know that?
To the rest of the world,
Yeah, because in Australia everything's different.
of
So
course,
so
because
what
we're.
happens is the sun here, if we say talk for an hour or two, that shadow will not move. It's incredible, isn't
Oh my God! Wait a minute.
it?
That is incredible.
I know.
Do other people, do scientists know about this?
I'm keeping it quiet, like
I don't think you're going to be able to keep it quiet for too long, honestly, because people will catch on to this.
I heard the scientists, they're busy coming up with the new ideas about reality, and like every day they come up with a new idea about what is reality. Yeah. So
Just
they're
keep my
busy.
mind wide open. I don't even know what to
Oh my God. You're one of those aliens. It's
I
true.
know. Do you see all the pictures doing this? And I look
Just
like
take a
an alien.
screenshot. Oh my God.
What do you need a screenshot for? This is what I look like all the time. You just can't see it.
Oh God, I got it. Oh wow. Profile photo.
You just can't
Wow.
see it. Yesterday, when I was watering the garden of the house here, I had the sprinkler on, and all of a sudden, I decided to go like this with the sprinkler with the
Yeah.
hose,
Yeah.
and there was nothing in front of me. And then I put the water like this, and guess what appears? This huge rainbow that was right
Wow.
in front of me, not visible to the naked eye, but when I put the water, it appeared.
Oh, I thought you knew that. That's how rainbows are made. There's someone in the big bloody hose that does that, you
No,
know?
no, no, that's not what I heard. No,
What do you
I heard
hear?
that when you are happy, they appear, and when you're unhappy, they're not around.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's more than deep. What's more than deep?
Deepness and a half.
Oh, we're 1.5 today. Everything is going to be 1.5.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I think we're on to
Uh,
something, people.
oh, what are you doing, Marilyn?
I'm
You
taking a breath. I'm ooh, sa.
Oh my God. Are you one of those spiritual people?
Oh God,
Oh God, there you are. You are. You said, "Oh God." You must
that
be.
was my response to you about that.
Do we need to meditate first or?
Yeah. Okay, we're done.
Okay, that's
We are
great.
all complete.
Oh, you're so complete.
All
Oh
is
my,
well in the world. The wars are over.
what wars?
Battle
Battles?
has
I'm not
been
sure about that.
dissolved.
Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. Actually, I I would notice something different about you, Marilyn, today. You're looking different. Well, it's not so much you're looking different, but your background looks different. Like,
Oh,
did you repaint your apartment with like dark blue paint or something, or what
yeah.
happened?
So I found this paint that not only does it change the colors behind you, but it actually creates the illusion of an entire house.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
pretty amazing. It's
That's
pretty amazing.
well,
Yeah,
oh,
I need to
okay.
send you some of this paint. I'm not sure they ship to Australia, but
Oh, we don't use paint in Australia. No.
frozen.
We were both,
You keep freezing.
no, you were frozen.
You no, you were frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen. Okay. I was frozen. I think I
You know
know
that song?
why we're freezing a bit is
Oh,
because
you don't have Starline.
I'm in a different place, I've moved. I've moved I've I've moved from the countryside to the city. I know it's amazing.
Wow,
The background looks the same. I should have got a new background for the city, shouldn't I?
you should have gotten the paint I got.
So I don't actually believe you about this paint thing. So where the hell are you staying with a friend's house or something?
I'm house sitting.
Are your
I'm house
house your
slash
house?
dog sitting.
All right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copycat you next week because next week I'll be cat sitting.
Wow. Oh yeah. You're going to be cat sitting two big cats that look very luxurious, and I can just have a fantasy of petting cats as I cannot really touch them. I mean, I
What
can if I want to go to the hospital,
what
but
happens when you touch them? The pussycats.
let's see. Um, I was gonna say I get an allergy, but I think what happens now is it goes straight to asthma. So I start this whole thing here just goes like this. I need it to be like this so I can breathe, and it goes like this.
It just closes up, does it?
It just this whole area closes up,
Wow.
and I start having difficulty breathing.
Okay.
So I can't breathe no more.
Okay. Well, I'll take some photos and send you. That could be safer.
Please, yeah, that
Okay.
should be safer. But so yeah, you can enjoy them for me, and yeah, so you're going to be cat sitting in Sydney, Australia. Is that where
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
okay, cool. And I'm in California. I'm just a little, I guess, is this still, I might still be in Los Angeles County. I'm in a place called Woodland Hills, which is in the valley.
In the
Called the,
valley.
it's called the
In the,
valley.
why did the valley? Didn't the valley get very popular, famous in the 70s or 80s or something? Was some
It's
movies made about?
possible. Maybe it's a movie, that movie called Valley Girls, which I still
Oh,
haven't seen, but I need to see it.
you are a valley girl now. Just
I
look in
am
the
a valley.
mirror.
I am. I
So,
am.
so do you feel different when you're in the valley? Can you feel the difference?
I do this with my hair a lot.
Oh my God. I do that too, but nothing happens.
Yeah, you could do some AI thing and give yourself some hair
In fact,
too.
my hand disappears. Why is that? I could become a magician.
Yeah.
So we thought, we would talk about the topic could be like we're in transition or something moving.
Yes, we are in transitions right now. A lot of people I know are in transitions. Wow.
Really
Transitioning
moving.
relationships, transitioning where they live, transitioning maybe job situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of that. But yeah, so I've moved out of the place I'd been living in for almost 4 years actually. I didn't even realize I'd been there that long. But almost 4 years I was living in a community of Buddhist modern Buddhism meditation
All
center.
right.
So
Is
I've
that
been
like
living there.
Buddhism with rock music if it's modern, or how does it work?
Yeah, yeah, they party.
can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
like that, Dave. Oh my God, I got to do a video of you dancing one day because it's so funny.
Oh,
Uh,
totally not.
we will do that later, for sure. But yeah, modern Buddhism, meaning it is a Tibetan man who was kind of, in a way, I think he was told by his guru at the time, his teacher in Tibet, you need to bring the teachings to the Western world and rewrite it,
Yeah.
not dilute it or change it, but rewrite it in a way that the modern human today will be able to understand the philosophy of Buddhism
Mm.
and be able to apply it to their daily lives. So that's why they called it modern Buddhism, from my understanding. I hope I'm getting it right. But so yeah, so modern in the way where people come to do meditation there all the, they come maybe weekly, maybe monthly,
Yeah.
but they come at their own pace and in their own way, and they still have their normal life. They're not necessarily Buddhists per se. Some of them, a lot of them are. And so yeah, it's kind of everyone is welcome. That's their philosophy. Everyone.
Can I just ask you, because you said rewrite it in a modern way, but is there is it, can you hear that plane? Okay, good.
Are you hearing things again?
Because there is is there um is there a Buddhist Bible?
That's
There
a
is.
very good question. From understanding, there is a. Do you remember when we were living in Xi'an? There was this big plaza, and there was a big statue of a very famous who had brought the scrolls of
Yeah,
Buddhism to China. And there's a whole story about this man, very famous man. I'm forgetting his name,
yeah,
but the teachings, it's from my understanding, there were he Buddha Siddhartha. Uh, he has many names, Buddha. He gave 84,000 teachings during his lifetime.
wow,
And many of those teachings were transcribed, were handwritten, and then passed down for the last 2,500 years. And so I'm imagining that when he rewrote Buddha's teachings, it was coming from his guru, what he had access to from that, those teachings that had been passed down
mm.
generation upon generation. I'm imagining that they were taken from there. So yeah, it's interesting that you're asking that. I can find out more, but just using my logic from what I've heard
Mm.
and seen since I was in the community for a couple of years, 4 years.
So can I ask you very about your move?
Mm-hmm.
4 years is a long time in one place, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah, some
is.
people might say, oh, to me that sounds like a long time. Some people might say, well, that's not long at all. I've lived,
It's
30 years in the same place, but four
yeah.
years quite a long time. So, what did you notice? Like, did you have any feelings, or you notice as you moved out?
You're asking me if I had moved out
Yeah, as you moved out, or
as I moved
the
out.
days before, or during, or after, because it's only
Yeah,
just happened. Well, like, what's it like?
happened. Yeah. Let's see. Any feelings? Yeah. I mean, on one hand, I would say, of course, there's the feeling of change, changing environments and not being around.
Yeah,
Uh, that creates some sadness. So yeah, I had some feelings of sadness. I I cared a lot for the house that I was in. I lived in this little house with different roommates throughout the years.
yeah,
Um, the two housemates that I had, which were a couple, they moved out 3 or 4 weeks before me. they relocated back to the East Coast. And
Mm.
so it was already sadness and kind of, needing to break off from this bonding that we had had in the last
Yeah.
2.5 years. So there was already one separation that happened. So then I, I didn't know I was going to be moving out of that house. I found out 20 days before. So it was a little bit sudden and unexpected. So I had to really kind of, in a way, rewire my mind around the sudden change and really just to look at it in a different way and be positive about it. And it was a mixture of feelings. If you're asking me what you're asking me, it was a mixture of feelings. It was a mixture of sadness, kind of this feeling of like, oh, now I'm gonna have to go into a new environment. Luckily, my mom, because it was so last minute, my mom offered me to stay right away. So, and she's always offered it to me if I wanted to stay. She has an extra room and it's in a place that's further from my job. And since I don't have a car, I'd have to borrow her car to go to work. So there were moving parts that needed to happen. And I think it was just an acclimation to the newness, the new situation. But I have to say, I like change. I even when it's difficult while it's happening, and there's something in me that kind of resists it sometimes because comfort is comfort. It just, familiarity feels so nice and easy. Yeah, there's something in me that knows that this needed to happen. That it for whatever reason it needed to happen.
That's- I know it's funny. I wonder what that statement means because like, I mean, it sounds very logical. It needed to happen. Like, why? It's interesting, isn't it?
Because it did.
Because it did. Good answer.
Like some people will say, why did that happen? And I go, because it happened. Why is this happening to me? Because it needed to happen to you.
Otherwise it otherwise it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
So yeah. And it's no, you and I had talked about my thinking about moving, changing environments for a while now. And
Mm.
it was one of those things where it's in the back of my mind. Where do I go? How do I make this happen? Going to check out Arizona. Just I'd been feeling it for a while, and but then it's almost like, well, you can't make a decision. Hey, we're going to make a decision for you. The universe or creator or life force, it moves things in a certain direction.
Mm.
But I always feel like life is happening for us, always, always, no matter what direction it is. It's going to follow our um, that maybe the direction of our attention, and so it might do it in ways that seem sudden or seem out of
Yeah.
nowhere, but I think it's happening exactly as it's meant to happen every time.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I
makes
think I
sense.
know what you mean because I have the feeling sometimes that something happens to me and I think,
Mm.
oh, that was unexpected. But then when I think about it, I think actually at a very, very deep level is probably what I wanted, but I didn't even sort of know it myself.
Yeah.
Which sounds a bit odd, but it's like a deeper thought. It's sometimes those are the thoughts where I don't even want to admit something to myself.
Mm.
Something like that. Like
Mm.
I do want to get to know that person, or I do want to not be with that person anymore, and then it happens, and I think,
Yeah.
oh, I'm shocked, but actually deep down it's what I wanted,
Yeah.
probably. So
Yeah.
I think I've been noticing that more lately. Um, and the other thing I was thinking about as you were talking is like I I started to watch this TV show. I think you mentioned it, and I watched it all. Like, what's it called? The Wheel of Time.
I'm the one who told you about that one.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I watched it.
and I think,
Yeah.
well, I mean, this is like it's like a fantasy thing, like Game of Thrones or something. for people who haven't seen it. It's very good, but it's got this idea that the wheel is always moving, like destiny is always moving. And they talk about it all the time, and they show it in some parts of this series. I think they're probably like 24 episodes or something over 3 seasons. And I think they show it really well. They show it happening really fast, like repeating lifetimes, but it's not quite every time it's slightly different, and they show it. So I started to get this feeling in the last year, not just from watching that show, but that was part of it, which is like, sometimes I think I or we people tend to think, oh, that's it, like something's happened, like that's it, it won't change. But then if you wait, it always changes in a certain way. So I
Mm.
noticed that it's like a clock slowly turning, but it never stops turning. So I'm having more of a sense now is, oh, just wait, something will happen. It's not the end of it.
Yeah,
It's like it's like someone says to you, "Oh, I never want to see you again," and you think, "Oh, that's the end of it." But
yeah,
then wait, and then a few months later they get in touch with you again and they say, "I just wanted to ask you something," or "I know I said I never want to see you again, but here I am talking to you," or something like that. Or me, I could do the same. It could be me doing that. Could be me, you know, doing that. Like there are no real endings. It's just transitions all the time, or something's moving. So nothing really ends. I don't know, just that sense. And I
time is
find
time.
I find that much more. I don't know. For me, it becomes more hopeful because I think before I said, "Oh, yeah, that's the end of that," or that situation can never improve. It's just the way it is. But then it seems like you get more opportunities or something.
Yeah,
Something.
something opens up. Well, could it be also that when something changes, whenever there's a change of any kind, it's almost like we become immediately open to more perspectives. Because if you imagine that if
Mm,
you're doing the same thing, if you're in a situation
mm,
and it doesn't change, let's just say the same thing over and over and over, same place, same situation, same people.
yeah,
You're only seeing it from the perspective of doing it in that way. The moment you shift in any direction, that is what we call change, I guess, then you're immediately opening up the field of more perspectives. And for me, I really am feeling so much now that we are just a perspective of whatever created us, whatever is creating this reality that we're in right now. We're just a perspective of it.
yeah,
We're a mirror. We're a mirror perspective of it.
yeah.
And we're just, I really, I was just listening to a talk with Matthias De Stefano and Robert E. Grant and a few guys that were talking. And they were talking about that. It was Robert E. Grant was saying how, we come from the one that had to split itself to mirror one another. And I really feel that. I've felt that for such a long time now that but now I'm feeling it. Before it was very conceptual. And now it's just really, it's so apparent that every situation we're in is to, it's almost like we're a self-learning and auto-updating intelligence in a way, the human being. And but we are within an ecosystem of Earth, and that's why I really love Matthias De Stefano. He talks about this a lot. That we're just an. I mean, I'm saying this word. He didn't say this, but I feel like we're like a pimple on Earth,
Yeah.
and we have our own life. Like we're erupting from Earth. We come from Earth. We erupt and
Yeah.
we go through all these things in our life, and and there's this organism is going through all these phenomena and then we go down, and then we're back into the back
Earth
into Earth,
again.
back into the system, and then we're going
Yeah,
to recycle again, and we might erupt again in a
yeah,
different form, and then we're going to go back down into the Earth again, and it it really, I think, going back to how did I start all this? Yeah, how we're just a perspective, and yeah,
yeah, yeah. I, I,
makes sense. Am I
yeah.
losing?
The way I like we're a perspective or a experience of the whole, whatever the whole is, unity or God or whatever you call it, that we're an experience or a perspective of it. So yeah, I guess the way I started to think this way is when, I recently broke up with my girlfriend, but she asked to end it, sort of thing. She had some reasons for ending it. But when we
Yeah.
first met, um, it was interesting. I was with a friend sitting in a cafe, and there was a woman in the table next to us, right? And this woman was sort of looking over in our direction. And then my friend went to the toilet. And then the woman said, I need to talk to you. And I sort of said, like, I can't remember what I said. Oh, okay. She said, and then when my friend came back, she she came over and joined us, and started. She said, oh, I was very interested in your conversation and whatever.
Oh,
And
so she had overheard the conversation between.
she'd overheard the conversation a bit. She was interested in
Okay,
what we were talking about. But
okay,
then later she told me that she'd actually got a message saying that she should talk to me. She actually got that message. Like,
okay,
and she says, I'm a person, I get a lot of messages, a lot of, downloads or whatever. So,
okay.
um, so why am I telling you this? The reason I'm telling you this is when she was saying all this, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, um, and I didn't actually. She took my friend's phone number, and then I didn't offer mine because I just wasn't sure what was happening or where this was going. And then she looked at me and she said, "Can I have your number as well?" And I said, "Oh, sure. Here's my number." And then I we messaged each other afterwards, and she actually explained that, yeah, she got a message that she should talk to me, but she didn't know why. So I then just respected that. And I said, okay, shall we meet? Because you got a message that you should talk to me. So I have no idea. I have no idea either why we're talking. And
Okay.
you and she said, I have no idea either. And so, but out of respect for that message she got, like a perspective, you say, of the one, we we met. So it's like I think that's about the first time in my life I shifted to say, oh, is something is working through us that says we should talk. So it was
Hmm.
just like I started to use the word respect. I just had respect for that message, for that information.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like I was like, oh, I had the hots for her, or like I had to talk to her. It was like it was no initial like wow, attraction
Yeah.
like that. It was like um and if she hadn't have done that, no way I would have gone and spoken to her at the cafe,
Okay.
or would just
Yeah.
talk to my friend. So I noticed that that was quite a big thing for me. Um, because as that relationship started, the other thing I did was I was very matter of fact with her. Like she would send me a message with a heart on it, but I wouldn't send it back like that. I would just send it with no heart. Like I wasn't trying to do anything to like seduce her or influence her. I was just like being very matter of fact. But then we
Yeah.
found out that we had a really good like 1 year together. We had a great time and we had a lot of things in common. And yeah, we just really enjoyed life and enjoyed exploring things together.
Yeah.
And then gradually we started to make sense of why we were together. But she often would say like I'm not like not sure why did that happen or who are you? You know, something like that. So I think how that changed me and the moving around is like so what happens now for me, like I've moved from the countryside. I've taken like a 3 hour train ride and come up to Sydney to live here for a while in a beautiful caravan park. And
Mhm.
what I notice is that I'm very much like I have some respect for like what's around me. You know, like I should look at what's around me, like the environment and the local cafes or the people I should get to know. You know, like I feel like they're my community, even though I've only been here for a week. I feel, and I need to go to these places which are local and I need to try the food or try this experience because it's here. It's almost like, okay, a bit like you're saying, the perspective or the need for something to happen happened and it put me here. So respect
Yeah.
that what happened,
Hmm.
you know? And it's like a feeling of, it is a feeling of oneness with what's around me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a like a shopping center nearby where they have lots of Asian food and it's like I feel, oh, I need to go there and try the different Asian food because it's there and because I'm close, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like it's a burden because I enjoy it, but yeah, it's like a respect.
Well, I mean, in a way, I remember always being like that since I've known you.
Oh,
I
really?
mean,
I didn't know that.
yeah, you've always been like this. I mean, as far as I can tell, you've always been like this. When we met in Hong Kong, did we? Yeah, we met in Hong Kong for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Because I came for
We met
the
on Skype for the first time, but
yeah,
physically we met in Hong
but,
Kong for the
but
first
face
time.
to face, we met in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
and when we met there, I think you already had like your coffee shops that you would go to and the places that you liked to get your food, or um, and then when we moved in China, when we lived in that apartment for a little while together. There was a market that you would go to, and I think that there was always places that you found that that helped you connect with your environment, with the community around you, because that kind of gave you a feeling of home in a way, you know.
Yeah.
At least that's what I remember from you. And when we lived in Xi'an together, also in that other city, yeah, I remember like you had your coffee shops that you liked to go to, and the
Mm.
places and the parks that you would like to visit. And I just remember you always really enjoying connecting with the environment that you were in. And we used to go to the outlet mall and go to the food court upstairs and eat the
Yeah.
certain that we liked. And you would always go to the bread guy. Remember the guy that made that family that made that amazing, that was just to die for. So yeah, for me, that's just something that you automatically do whenever you arrive in a different environment. You go right in to kind of almost to feel like home because it is your home for that moment in time, whether
Yeah.
it's for 2 days or a week or a month.
That's interesting because you're right. I'm like that. I always try and like make my community or have that community feel, you know.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
the shift was when this happened with this woman a year ago, is that it's like I started to realize that I'm sort of doing it because of what's in front of me. It's like a respect for what I've been shown or given. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like it's like a happy duty, you can say. I feel like it's like a I'm enjoying it, you know. But it's
Doing
like
it with more awareness now, you mean?
it could be. It just well, it's just it's a very interesting that you. It's good that you reminded me that I've been like that for a long time. But it's
Yeah.
like I guess my thinking shifted now is oh this is what I've been given. I've been put here as like a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy the gift, you know,
Yeah.
appreciate the gift,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot more. Um, this it seems to be linked to a lot more joy in my life because you know appreciate. what's here, you know,
Yeah.
and appreciate what's been arranged, sort of thing.
What's been arranged. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I definitely, yeah, I'm trying to think if I do that as well. I know that I need, I connecting is very important for me. That's always been very important for me. Uh, yeah. But I have to say lately, there's something in me that I do connect still with people and places, but I have to say this is one time where I'm feeling more of wanting to pull back and have less of the connection and more going inward. There's something that feels like I'm
Mm,
needing to go a lot more inward right now, rather than outward. I have moments where I just like constantly connecting with everyone, people I know, new people, new places. But right now, it just feels like just yeah, get quiet and go in. Stop the busyness. Stop the noise. Get quiet and listen.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what do you are you finding anything when you listen?
Uh, it's a good question. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that yet. I don't know. I think it's I'm in an in-between state right now, which is funny because I am literally in an in-between. I'm living at my mom's, back at my mom's right now. Um, and I'm house sitting for family. And yeah, just everything feels very transient right now. I'm like, I'm somewhere and nowhere at the same time, which is, someone would say, but that doesn't make sense. You are somewhere. You've settled into your mom's place, but it feels so transient for some reason. And
Mm,
and I'm also thinking that I've stayed at my mom's for a little bit in between many different transitions in my life. She's been living in the same apartment for like 25 years.
mm.
So interesting place to in between different changes.
So you,
Uh,
so
yeah,
you, yeah, I'm trying to tune into how you are. It's interesting how I'm trying to do that. What am I trying to do? It's like I'm
yeah.
trying to
What
tune
are
in.
you trying to do, Dave?
I'm trying to tune into you. Like, you say something and I try to think, oh, what's it like? Because I'm trying to think of times where I didn't want to see people or I just wanted to go
Mm,
into myself. I do have this thing sometimes, like I can be watching, say, a TV show, and I've been looking forward to watching it, like the next episode. Oh, what happens next? And I get about halfway through, like 40 minutes, and after about 20 minutes, I can't. That's enough. I can't take anymore.
yeah,
It's not like a discomfort or like feeling crazy or like that's just enough. And I'm happy to like even though it's only like halfway through the episode and like you might say, "Oh, don't you know what want to know what happens next?" I feel like I want to do that later. Like I like it's almost like saving it for later. It's
yeah.
like
Like
you eat half a chocolate cake and you put half of it back in the fridge for later, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And I'll enjoy that later, but for now that's enough. And then I'll often when I'm in bed, I'll just lie there, quite blank,
Mm,
um, not really wanting to do anything, just lying in the stillness. And
mm,
I like that.
yeah, it is a nice feeling. I don't experience that often at all. I like, I love the idea of it, and when I am able to do it, it feels so blissful. But my mind just like it's busy.
With what? Is it like, are you anxious about things? I just wonder.
I'm very affected by my environment,
Oh,
very.
yeah.
And if I feel that the environment needs something, which is interesting because it's yeah, no one's needing anything from us in a way. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why do I sit, like, for example, where I'm house sitting now, I wake up in the morning and of course I'm in a situation where I have two dogs that need a lot of attention because they're
Yeah.
very needy. They love being around people. They don't like being alone. And so when I come here and I don't even open my eyes yet and I can feel them their paw and their nose go under the door because I can't let them in my room because I'm allergic. So I keep them out of the room. But I see their shadow and then sometimes I see their nose. I don't know how that one of them has this way of getting his nose under the door. I don't know how he does it. The space is like this big and his nose is like that big. But
Oh
it's very
God.
funny. And then comes the paw with it, and then sometimes they'll start hitting the door literally. So it's kind of funny. So it's a particular situation where there is actually something calling that it needs.
Yeah.
But if there wasn't, I still feel a need in the environment, like a need to uh, be up in case something's needed. It's just so weird. I have this. It could be genetic. It could be a lot of memories in my genes of having coming from a lineage of, maybe women who were always caretakers, and I know I have a lot of that in me. A lot. I have a strong momentum of caretaking, of just making sure people don't need anything. Do you need some? And I grew up with my
Yeah.
mom
I've seen
constantly
it.
asking, do you need something? Are you okay? Do you sure you don't need anything? This is something that's been so imprinted in me. It's taken a lot of time to try to reprogram it, to work on reprogramming it.
So how do you try and reprogram that? What do you
Well, I literally, if I wake up and there's all these voices in my head that say, you got to get up to do this, you got to check in with this person, make sure they're okay, do this, do that. I do nothing. That's my way of reprogramming it.
can I ask you, do you because we've talked about this. We talked about that we might talk about it actually on a podcast about
Mhm.
because
Oh, yeah.
we both from some time to time have feelings of guilt when we're not doing anything.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a
I think
big
you
one.
have it stronger than me, but we both have a bit
Yes.
of it. But you have it quite strongly, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember in China and in Hong Kong how sometimes I go see a movie
Yeah, on your own.
on my own? And I remember one time I went to go see a movie in the middle of the day because we would do treatments at the center there. So one day, for example, if I didn't have a treatment for 3, 4 hours, I would say, okay, I'm going to go see a movie. I love movies, and that, like, it's one of my favorite things to do is just go by myself and watch a movie in a theater. So I went, and you and I talked on the phone, and I remember actually, I think I was very emotional when I spoke to you because I was expressing to you that I felt guilt for going to see a movie.
Yeah,
And the reason why I think the emotion came up at that point, and because I mean, some people might listen to this and go, "What the hell? Why would you feel guilty about going to see a movie? You didn't have anything to do, right?" Sounds pretty simple
yeah,
and not complicated. But for someone who is a doer, who's always been a doer for as long as I can remember, um, not doing something that you think is useful or worthy,
yeah,
practical, is very conflicting, very, very conflicting. Uh, you know, and really, and like when you see a movie, like I could be helping somebody with something right now. I could be cleaning something. I could be organizing something at work, at the office. I could be offering my help to someone who would really need my services, right?
can I ask you
And
something?
it's just,
Because it sounds a bit like it sounds like we could get into a therapy session here. Because I got to fess up, I used to be a psychotherapist, so I can, but I mean, like, just as two friends, it's
yeah,
like I really want to. I feel I want to ask you, like, how can I put it? It's almost like it seems that you get your this is an expression, what is it? Oh, value of existence. You get the feeling of, oh, this is why I exist. This is what I'm here for. So it sounds like you get your value from doing things or helping people or something.
I used to.
You used to.
It's changed.
Oh, good.
It's changed.
How's it? Is it?
What
How's
way?
it? Yeah, in what way? Because mine's changed too, so I could fess up about mine too.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to know how it's changed for you. Well, first you'd have to say how it started for you or how it was before it changed. But I guess for me, I am. How do I put this? Well, I'm not. I was going to say I'm not fully recovered from this issue. Not definitely. I still do it a lot, but I have a lot more awareness now, and I really do stop and think about what's the intention about why I'm doing what I'm doing. I think about it, and if I see that my tendency to go and be useful, so I could get my value of existence, like you said, if I see that's what's at play, I really will consciously try to do something else. I'll try to just drop it and go do something else that would feel enjoyable to me. Go for a walk or go for a coffee, or it can be anything. It can be anything, or I just take my computer out and I'll start watching a silly episode of something, or I'll do something that not necessarily is going to make me happy, but something that breaks the cycle, that breaks the pattern. And then I really work on the also not feeling guilty about it, which before I used to feel guilty automatically every time. And now that's reduced immensely. Sometimes I don't even feel guilty at all. And that for me is a very big change because I really, like I said, I think that the momentum has been going for many, 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 many generations of
Actually,
doers.
it's really good you say that because I mean, we learned about this idea about momentum when we studied in China together, but
Yeah.
I mean, now for me, it's quite obvious that there's a momentum because if you, as you say, if you have your normal pattern, which is, oh, do, say, or try and achieve something or whatever, there's a momentum because if you stop it, you can still feel something pushing you,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't so that the momentum is a big part of it. Like if there wasn't anything pushing you, there's no momentum, you wouldn't do it. There has to be a push sort of
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, it's like recognizing that momentum is good because then I find it easier to counteract it once I realize, oh, there's something pushing me. Like a steam train. You're trying to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really useful. Um, in this transition for me, like moving here, and then as you know, I told you, Marilyne, when I got to this is an amazing RV park. It's absolutely beautiful. Behind me is the forest. I can sit outside my van. I don't have to go for a walk to the forest. They're here. All the
Okay.
trees and the birds are right here. I just sit here with a glass of wine and hi, I'm here. It's like nirvana. And yet there's all this. I walk like 10 minutes away and there's cafes and a metro station. It's like I'm so lucky. So
Yeah.
I get there here and then I was here a day and I got a message from the park management. They said, oh my God, we're terribly sorry. The power's gone off and we're not sure when it's coming back. There's a problem. It's like this like beautiful place, pristine place, suddenly no power. So normally, the power comes in the van. I can watch TV, I can cook, do everything. The washing machine, the fridge, and everything. And suddenly, no power. So most people left, but like there are these people obviously who live off grid. They're used to it, you
Yeah.
know. So this RV is designed to be off grid. It's got solar power, solar panels on the roof, and blah blah blah, a big
Yeah.
battery and things. So now I've had this. experience of managing the power, managing the solar. I've got to move the solar panels and all sorts of things. And
Oh, that's
is
great to
the
know.
battery enough? And even during this time of fiddling around with this and learning, my son-in-law is helping me a lot. But even for him, he's probably learning some things as well. Even during this period, I was feeling guilty for not working because I've got like one book almost done, audio book, the audio book of the book's out, sort of thing. So, I like to introduce it to people. Another book I've put I've dumped all the ideas into a file, like 200 pages. So another book I could be writing. There's the podcast with you. There's a TV series pilot I wrote about a teenager in Sydney, which I haven't done anything with, but people say, "Oh, that's a good idea. You should do something with that." So I've got all
Yeah.
these projects,
Yeah.
and then so I'm thinking I should
That
be
you
doing
have been working on.
that. I have been working, and they are progressing, and they're gradually getting out. But I
Yeah.
still felt guilty. But I've got to. I'd like to share a transition I've gone through
Yeah.
because I got a sense. I don't know when did I start getting it. I don't know if it was a year or two ago. I got a sense that whatever this is, this life we're in, we need to be in tune with it, not sort of push ahead too fast. Give it
Mhm.
time to respond. It's almost like it can respond to us. So when I got, what was it? In the book I prepared, a lot of it was just transcripts and things. I didn't really write it. It was like I got some transcripts of a story that something had happened to me, and then I analyzed it with AI and got this great analysis. So I put it together as a book, and then these I looked at what had happened. So what had happened was something that had happened in my family that affected the family greatly, in a so-called negative way.
Okay.
But I then analyzed it. And in the analysis, I said to AI, like, oh, can you look at who thinks in a similar way, like which scientists, which psychologists, things like that. So it's like you can look at things in different ways, scientifically, psychologically, metaphysically, spiritually, you could say. So
Mhm.
therefore, through AI, I found all these people had similar thinking, scientists and psychologists. So now I've got a list of people who potentially I could send the book to and say, hey, in this book, it discusses your ideas about how your ideas help me understand what happened in my family when I was a kid,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And so it's so funny what happened. I then asked AI to help me contact these people. And then can you guess what AI said to me?
Do it yourself.
No. It said, so AI have been talking to like you have been for maybe, I don't know, a year and a half, and it gets to know you, right? And it
Oh
wrote
yeah.
back to me and it said, Dave, this doesn't sound like you. It said that. Why are you moving so fast?
Oh.
It actually said that. It's so amazing. Not in those words, but basically
Yeah.
in those words. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, you're into like the wheel of time and things. So why don't you wait? You know? And you know what it suggested I do first?
Right.
Send it to you. It
To
said,
me?
yeah, it said like your idea about say the TV show, for instance, because with the TV show as well, I was thinking, oh, do I send it to these producers in Hollywood or who do I send it to? And it said, Dave, just send it to Marilyne. See what she thinks. She's your friend. Like
Wow.
it said,
Aw.
so it said, yeah, no, good friend. So it's like, so it's really helped me get in this feeling of like this thing's life is moving, right? And it's like if I think this way, just go slowly, you can do much less work, but it seems to be more powerful because it feels like you're not getting ahead of things or pushing things, which you're, if you
Yeah.
slow down, it seems that more possibilities spring up, maybe things like that. Because
Hmm.
when we're fast, we're very sure about where we're going. Like, I'm just going there, that it's very pointy, like that. But when we're slow, it's almost like, life can sort of embrace us. There's
Yeah.
and slow down, and then different. So what happened actually was so funny. I slowed down, and then a friend of mine back in the countryside where I lived, she was part of an event where a lot of healers were demonstrating what they do. So I felt supportive and I felt I could like to go back there again, go to the coffee shop I like. So I went down there for the day. So of course, when I'm sitting there in this circle of healers, there was this woman who sat down next to me, sort of unexpected. She sat right next to me, and I thought, oh, that's odd. And she was so close to me, I couldn't actually see her, so I had to move one chair away. And I looked back on her, and then she was dressed very neatly. She didn't look like a healer, and she turns out she was helping children. She had a government job, helping children who were doing it tough, sort of thing. And I said to her, like, wow, that's interesting. I used to do a similar sort of job to you 25 years ago. Uh, and then we started comparing notes and stories and things. And then I said, oh, because that's a bit relevant to the book I wrote about my family. And then
Yeah.
she said, yeah, send it to me. I want to read it. I want to look at it. So like
Yeah.
the life just gave me the connection without me pushing, you know, just through natural conversation
Let's
with
see if you
someone.
come back. There
Oh,
you are. You just came back. You had
yeah.
frozen.
So it was a good lesson. It's like, just take it easy. Like, just wait for things to happen a bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could live in that we could live in that state all the time, actually, if we just brought more awareness to life, to ourselves, to even the environment that we're in. Even if the environment is very busy, we could just try to tune into it and not let it push us.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. Let's pause for a sec. Can we pause? You just said something very profound.
Mm.
Because no, so you're saying that normally we let life or the environment push us along,
Mm-hmm. Well,
but we often don't pause to tune into it and just.
yeah.
So what's that? Can you give an example?
Actually, it's funny when you just reflected it back to me, the first thing that came to my mind was my job at the observatory,
Yeah,
because many of the posts that we have is just really staying in one place, one area for many hours, right?
yeah,
And so it's very interesting because there's this one post called South Gallery where you stand in front of the planetarium doors, right? There's a
yeah,
little stanchion and you stand in front of the stanchion. And your job is basically this: your job is to stand there and answer any questions of people who come to you. So when they come and ask about the show, you can tell them about the movies. You can show them where the line is, which is outside of the building, down the hall to the left. And then another part of the job is to make the announcements, the three announcements, to let people know about that the show's going to start, right? But a lot of the time is standing there and just
yeah,
standing there, right?
yeah,
And I remember that was my least favorite post when I started, and most people hated that post. Every time I would ask them, "What's your least favorite?" Oh, always South Gallery. I hate standing around. I hate it. I need to move. I need to. And so I was like, yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like that too. And it's so interesting what's happened over the last 2.5 years of me being there is that I love that post now. I love just standing there, and I kind of
yeah,
just feel like
So
I'm
interesting.
in a state of like I'm in a meditative state when I'm there.
Yeah.
I observe people. I observe people. I watch the sunlight. Sometimes my post will start in the morning, late morning, and I'm
Yeah.
there till night. So
Yeah.
and it's, by the way, the post is facing the front doors of the building. So
Yeah.
you get to see everything that happens. You see everyone walking in, people coming, going to the box office, going to the info booth, going to the bathrooms, going outside. You see everything from there. And you can see the daylight changing also from bright sunny daylight, and everyone's energy is well, and then it just like shh, the sun goes down, and the energy of the people changes. So there's just so many things to just sit there and take in
Wow.
and just be present with in this position. And I have to say, one of the things I'm the most grateful for, which I don't know if other people would see it this way, but I just don't know. But for me, at least, for me, that is one thing I've learned and I've benefited from tremendously from working in that place, because I've learned how to just be present without needing to be in action, to
Yeah.
just wait to be asked, wait to be prompted, just wait, just sit back
Yeah.
and wait, you know?
Yeah.
And I needed to learn how to do that. I needed to learn how to do that, especially because I'm a doer. I'd like to do stuff. I just, I need to be useful. If I'm not useful, what am I?
Wow. Wow. I feel like telling you a story, but it sounds prideful, but maybe that's just my weird thinking. Because I remember I had a friend in Australia, and I remember I just got divorced, and I was like complete mess. I was midlife crisis, depressed, and like, but then starting like this sort of spiritual journey type thing, like who am I, what is life type thing, going courses. That's when I went to Hoffman and things like that. But
Mhm.
I had a hobby of cycling, right? And with a friend, we'd built up this group. There were just two of us used to ride on a Saturday morning, but then another friend said, "Oh, can I join?" And then blah blah blah. And then we used to have about 10 of us used to go.
Bicycle riding?
Yeah, in the early
Okay.
morning. So we set off about 6, and we finished about 9. And it was a great way to have a lot of pastries without guilt, and coffee, lots of
Why?
coffee and
Because you would
pastry.
write it off after?
No, before you write it off before, so you're like restocking,
Okay.
restocking
You're
at the
burning
end.
the calories before you
But
eat the calories.
yeah, so you can have as many croissants and things as you liked without any guilt. Because yeah, actually, it is true. You needed restocking. Anyway,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was this girl. This also she was also divorced. Who was started. She joined, and she was just a really nice person. Like we just got on really well. But we never spoke much, right? And then one day I was sort of thinking, well, she's really nice, like, but I didn't feel like it's hard to put it into words. It was like a very, very lovely connection without ever having to say anything, you know.
Hmm.
It was just natural connection, you could say. And I remember she might listen to this podcast actually, because she does listen to them, I think. So we went one day. I said, "Oh, I don't know if it was me or her or what happened. We went to the Botanic Gardens, right, in the city where we were living, and
Mhm.
it was sort of late in the afternoon, and it was sort of maybe not winter, but pretty cool and very quiet, very still, not much activity, not many people. Even the birds are quiet. And I
Hmm.
remember we got back in the car to leave. So we're sitting, and both sides of the car, it was on a street next to the Botanic Gardens, but both sides were pretty much trees and things. It was very calm. And for some reason, and I got no idea why, I didn't start the engine. I don't know why. And we sat there, and we both looked ahead. We didn't look at each other. We
Yeah.
both just sat there looking forwards, and we didn't say anything, and we didn't move for half an hour. Yeah. And then after half an
Yeah.
hour, I think I might have felt a little bit of awkwardness or something. I don't know. And I turned to her and say, shall we go? Something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And she said to me something which is quite amazing, but really she just said, that was the best 30 minutes of my life. And it's like, and she was right. It felt that way. It was so
Mm.
calm. It was so we were connected with, I think we were connected with everything, feeling.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And we didn't do anything.
Hmm. That's why you felt connected. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. How can you possibly be if you're doing? They're not compatible. Being and doing are not compatible.
It's a difficult one, I suppose, because doing is still being, isn't it? Because it's still the
It
way
is. It
you
is. And I
are.
was gonna say, yeah, that's not really actually, that would be a statement. You, yeah. Even being present while you're doing, you can do that if you bring awareness to what you're doing. You can be deeply present while you're in the state of doing. Maybe that's what people who are creative artists, when they're creating and they're
Yeah,
just as a channel. Uh,
yeah,
it always gets interesting. I'll just say this quickly because this is coming to me. I always find it so interesting with people who are artists who have an art that they make, okay, like a painter, for example, and the art comes through them, something is moving through them. And then comes the attachment to this art that they created.
yeah.
So when you're creating it, you're aware that something is moving through you,
Oh,
but then
yeah.
suddenly now you feel that this is of your doing. So you
Yeah,
put
I
your
know.
name on it
That's
because it's
interesting,
you
isn't
who
it?
made it. It's you who
Yeah,
made it. You got to make sure you
yeah,
put your name on it because if you want to give value to it, there has to be a name on it, right? And then comes the attachment to how much am I going to sell this for? Like because that determines my value of a person as a person. This determines my value. So I got to put a price on this now. And I'm always amazed. And this is something, my sister and I watched our father struggle with deeply during his entire adult life because he loved painting. I mean, it wasn't even that he loved painting, it just came out of him. Like
yeah,
just gave him a blank sheet. He would, like, it was just amazing the stuff that would come out of his mind. And
yeah,
it was just coming through him. But he had immense attachment to how it needed to be sold and what price it needed to be sold at, even though, yeah, it was very interesting. There was this conflict constantly, but I guess we're talking about being versus doing. Can you be while you're doing? And and can we do that without putting a value on it in a way? I guess that's what I'll go back to is can we how the question is how can we do with the feeling of being, meaning presence,
yeah,
full presence to what we're doing, understanding that something's moving through us. We're
yeah,
kind of just a conduit.
yeah.
Something's moving through us, allowing that to move through us and not give any value to it whatsoever, not put a value on it.
Wow. So when you say this, this thought comes to me, which is something that's been happening to me for the last year and a half. Never did it happen in China. I think it happened a little bit in China just before I left, but it's happened a lot since I've been back in Australia. It's where I would be walking, um, and then suddenly, it's pretty suddenly, I'm sort of walking on tiptoes, right? But I'm not trying to. There's no effort. So it's almost like I'm being drawn up from my chest, like
Mm.
higher, higher.
Yeah.
And then this happened if it seems to happen spontaneously, and I couldn't work out why it would be happening. I could be
Yeah.
walking down a street or in a park or wherever. And I discussed it with AI, and I didn't know whether I was becoming a bird, or I felt like sometimes I could fly, I could take off, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's very strange. So imagine being on tiptoes, but you're not trying at all. It's like you're being lifted up, you know.
Yeah.
So it was only recently I started to make some sense of this because it happened actually. I think I only made sense of it in the last week, actually, because I come to this new area and then I went out one morning and it radically happened. It was like on tiptoes, whatever. But I noticed what preceded it happened just before. I
Okay.
started to have this amazing appreciation for everything around me. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
trees, the birds, the clouds, the sky, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like even people walking past me, a car, anything I looked at, because sometimes I'll just look at cars, their design or buildings, just to say, wow, it's amazing how that's designed, how someone made that, you know, and just really appreciate it. So I started to think, wow, it seems to be when I have this like appreciation of life or something, and I get
Yeah.
this joy, and then I get this uplifted feeling. It's like being uplifted. And I
Yeah.
thought it sort of makes sense because we have an expression, don't we, like being down in the dumps or downtrodden or something like that. When we feel depressed, we sort of go downwards.
Yes.
So it's like when I have joy in the littlest things of life, you know, I'm uplifted, you
Yeah.
know. It's really interesting.
Mhm.
Um, so it's and so the reason I thought of it is when you start to say, you know, we put a value on things because in a way I'm putting a value on things when that happens to me. I'm saying I really appreciate what's been given to me, what I'm being shown, the tree, the birds, the sky, whatever. It's almost like is that the you're frowning, but it's like that
No, I'm
appreciation.
finding because I'm if I would agree with that statement that
Yeah,
you're putting value on something when you're appreciating it. I'm not sure I do. I'm not sure I feel the same.
that's
But
okay.
please,
How do you feel?
I don't know, but just when you said it, I was like, is real is the kind of appreciation that comes from deep within us, is that a value? Like kind of heart connection. It feels like us connecting to our heart
Yeah,
beyond value,
I never
beyond
thought it. I
the
never thought it
mind.
as a value, but yeah, I was
I
wondering.
think it's the mind that has to conceive a value,
Mm,
but appreciation, like true, real appreciation, I feel for me that goes way beyond the mind. That comes from our heart center, which is the aspect of us I feel that is the most in touch with beyond our physicality, like
yeah,
what we before we came into the body and what we're going to go right back into after we leave our body. But,
yeah.
so yeah, sorry, that was just
No, I'm really taking it in what you're saying. I'm really listening. Yeah, fascinating. So I think, I mean, maybe it's a bit logical, but I think that being,
mm-hmm.
like if we're not doing much, if we're like being and maybe appreciating or just existing without having to do things, it also is a state that's needed. You know, like all the different states
Yes,
required is a required state. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. And
absolutely.
then in that, I mean, I know you can have a lot of appreciation or joy from like going sailing or, playing video games or whatever. You're still, you can enjoy through what you do. And people will say, "Oh, I love doing this, I love doing that," whatever
Yeah.
it is. I know that. Yeah, I don't want to. That's another way, but just the not doing and just being is also another way. And I know for me, it can lead to great appreciation
Hmm.
of the fullness of things. Yeah,
Yeah. I do feel like those moments, when they come very spontaneously.
yeah, spontaneously. Yeah,
I think
very.
they're prompted. I think they come out of nowhere.
You
But
had them too, like that.
yeah, yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
don't get on my tippy toes, but I have been in states that have felt like being completely elated.
yeah.
Like my body just is completely weightless. And I just feel
Wow, very
just
similar.
just a very whole um, feeling of appreciation for everything. I'm feeling it right now, actually.
It looks like it. You look
Yeah.
very you look very blissful, and the way you look makes me um yeah have I have a lot of love when you look this way or where you describe it. Yeah, very loving. I get a very loving feeling.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Just it kind of feels like it's difficult to put in words specifically, but it's almost like being completely at peace with everything.
Yeah,
Just at peace. Everything is exactly as it should be. No opposition, no resistance. Total immersion into the experience of being human.
and this is it's a great example of how one person can affect another person in a way, because you're affecting me right now. You really are. So, you know, you could be sitting waiting for a bus, but in a very peaceful way, and you could be affecting the other people at the bus stop.
Oh
Whatever,
yeah,
because of the state. And we know the reverse is true. Like if people are agitated or having an
yeah,
argument, people can get upset who are around them. So we know how that works. So it can work in a very positive way too.
yeah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I've been noticing lately since I was getting ready to move, I was feeling very overwhelmed at some point, 2 weeks before moving. I was starting to pack a little, still going to work, having a lot of hot flashes from my menopause. And just, yeah, I would get these surges of, I wouldn't say anger, but just a feeling of overwhelm just would
Yeah.
surge up. And sometimes I would snap. If someone came by at that moment, I'd be like,
Yeah.
but I really I made a point of calling people after and apologizing to them for my manner. Um,
You never apologized for
because,
me.
huh?
You never apologized to me.
Well, but because I don't have time to apologize to you. Oh my God, I do apologize to you, Dave. What are you talking about? I don't. I don't apologize.
I remember like 25 years ago you did once, maybe.
One time.
No, you have. You have. You've apologized quite a few times, actually.
My sister used to say to me when I would apologize, she'd be like,
But
"Stop
but
it.
you've
Stop being
apologized to me.
sorry. Just stop doing it."
You've apologized to me for exactly what you're talking about now, where you've been sort of ratty, like you've been like that, and you
Irritable.
you and you just apologize. You sort of contact me later and you say, "Oh, sorry for how I was yesterday," or something. Like I hope I didn't upset you, and you sort of haven't because I probably would tell you, but it's like I notice sometimes, yeah. But I don't have the menopause myself.
You don't. Oh well, you
No.
could. You could because men get it
Do they?
Mhm. Yeah.
Maybe we should talk. We should have just one
Episode.
podcast about menopause. Yeah,
Uh, yeah, men get it differently, but different symptoms and different, yeah, different ways. But
really. What symptoms?
I don't know too much about it, to be honest with you. But I did read some articles that talked about men go through a version of menopause. It's a version of menopause, and it is related to hormones. It is related to hormones. Maybe it's close to the midlife crisis
Yeah,
time. I'm not
yeah.
sure. I'm not sure. I don't want to say talk about things that I don't know anything about. I mean, I could.
Ah,
But put
oh
fun
my
in
God,
an
that's a funny one. You left yourself wide open then.
about it. I just know that I've read a few things about it a while ago.
Oh God.
I just know about my own experience. But yeah, we'll have to record and see. We'll have to once I get on back on my hormone replacement. I'm going to be curious to see if you notice any changes in me a couple of months down the line. I'd be curious because sometimes we don't notice the changes within ourselves. We go, oh no, things haven't changed, but then people around you go, oh yeah, no, things are different.
Things are different. Oh
Things are
God.
different. But yeah, I don't know why I brought up the thing about having strong emotions and then just oh yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know how we came onto this, but I was thinking about how I do feel much more at ease now of just letting the frustration come out. Like if I'm feeling frustrated about something, I'm gonna tell someone. I'm gonna tell them how I'm feeling. Before I would try to, just be like, no, Marilyn, don't put it on people. They just keep it to yourself, or just let it move through you. And now I'm like, no, if I'm upset about something or I'm frustrated about something, it's okay. It's okay to talk about it and let it out.
Yeah.
And just say what it's about. And then if I feel like I was a little bit short or curt with the person or may have affected them with my frustration or whatever it is, then I can apologize because you know what? We're all having an experience. This is an experience, the human experience of needing to go through all these emotions.
Well, actually, it could be, it's a, so much in life is a balance, obviously, like
Yes.
being and doing and all sorts of things and blah, blah, blah. But I remember that I think in my life, I've been a good suppressor, right? Um, and then I would have some sort of explosion, maybe. But I think it was interesting because when I was in China and we were both at the Pisa Institute, um, I think it was I'd never had headaches in my life. And I started to get headaches, and I was about 65, 66. And and it was sort of noted, oh, this is about the time when traditionally the males in my family would have strokes about this age. So
Mm,
they checked me and they said, looks like you're going through like a potential stroke time. And they did look at people energetically. And they said, oh, it looks like in your brain you have a lot of grudge and negativity you're not expressing. You just stored it up. And they thought that was often what would be the cause of people's strokes.
yeah,
So they some of their treatments did help me, but what helped me the most was just to express negativities,
yeah,
actually, and
yeah,
just let people know, like, I'm just getting this off my chest. I'm not really having a go at you, like blah blah blah. And then, but the funny thing is about expressing negativities is it's like, and I'm sure we talked about this before, it's like, wow, if you say something, it can be so helpful because the person may say, shit, I never knew that you thought that way.
yes,
Or and then some people who really are interested in like developing their thinking or they want to change something about themselves, they might say, wow, you know, that you're not the first person to say that, or I've been wondering that, something like that. So I'm actually glad you told me, even though, you know, it was hard to hear. But I'm glad you told me because I actually maybe not happy about that part of myself. So something like that. Or
Yeah.
or they might say something which also is very helpful, I find, is like, oh, sorry, you got the wrong end of the stick. You know, like you didn't know that this I did it because of this. And I go, oh, I never realized that. You know, you have this judgment on someone, but you never realize the backstory, you know,
Yeah.
about why they were doing it. Oh my God, I never realized that's why you're doing that. I thought blah 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 blah, you
Yeah.
know, from what you'd normally think. So expressing can be quite useful, can't it?
Yeah, it really feels like a key. But knowing how to express yourself is very, you know, it's it's not a given. We've never really learned how to
Yeah,
express ourselves
don't know how to
in
do it.
a way that doesn't harm,
Mm,
um, and in a way that invites conversation,
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
you know. So I think we're just all learning in our own way since we haven't been to communication school. And
right.
uh, yeah, learning how to communicate. So interesting how little it's talked about in this world, even
That's
today.
right. That's right. You could teach it at school. And the one that I had quite a lot, I don't express because I'm fearful that the person will be negative with me.
Yeah,
So
we
it's like a selfishness I have, you know. I don't
yeah,
want people not to like me. I want everyone to like me, so I don't say something which they might say, "Oh, I'm glad you said that," but I keep it inside.
yeah. Don't you feel like that could be a root cause for a lot of us to not be communicating? Is the Yes, I don't, okay, so I'll say pride. There could be some pride there that we
Mm.
have. The
Yeah,
pride in I don't want someone to come back at me.
yeah, that's fear
I want to
as
have a
well.
bad
Yeah,
takes a lot of courage if you do it correctly. If
yeah,
you do it correctly, um, you have to have the courage to be put down yourself by that person.
that's right. That's right. Got to get ready for the
Back
fact
in
that
your face.
you might be like, oh, you don't get it, or you know, like
Yeah.
yeah, but it could be your
Oh, no,
pattern. It's your
it could,
pattern. You're reacting.
oh, I have some friends that are really, really well versed in turning things back around. And I had to really think about why didn't I confront that person more often? And then I thought, wow, it's because that person doesn't really, there's no room for discussion. That person will always defend themselves, defend and protect themselves at all
Yeah,
costs. But
yeah.
you know what? But again, I think it's sometimes to say, okay, I'm still going to do it and see what they say.
We should talk more about this because there's so much we could talk about this topic.
Okay.
I have a suggestion to make, which is an obvious suggestion. We've been going for almost an hour and a half, so
And
maybe
you know what the dogs are thinking right now?
I hope she keeps talking a bit longer because we're having such a nice time playing with the balls or something.
There's probably sitting staring at a ball going, why hasn't she come in here to play with it? So yeah. But
And yeah. Oh my God, that shadow. It hasn't moved the whole time.
it's unbelievable. It still looks like a dinosaur tail though.
That shadow there just hasn't moved the whole time during the discussion. That's
I never
incredible.
knew that about Australia, that it's the same time of day all day.
Well, the sun doesn't move here. It's always sunny and lovely. Yeah, we don't have nights here.
No,
Yeah.
no, I think you're making a mistake. That's Los Angeles. That's not Australia.
Okay, all right, you can have that one.
Okay. Well, uh, thank you to anyone who listens in on our
Yeah,
conversation.
we're still preparing the medals for people who are. tuning
The
in.
chocolate medals for people who make it all the way to the
To the end. You get to the end, you get a medal.
episode.
Yay. The
Okay,
Olympics.
cool. Well, it was nice talking to you. And
Nice
yeah,
talking to you.
yeah. And till the next one. Let's see what happens.
See you around.
See you around. Toodle pips. I
Toodle pip. Ta-ta for now.
feel like we're doing some like Star Trek thing or
What
something.
do they say in LA? If the English say toodle pips, what do you say in LA?
I just say bye.
Oh my
I
God. That's so
know.
amazing.
Oh, deep. So,
I'm gonna miss you already.
oh my God. Bye.
Bye.